Oh, that's your excuse.
So really, we got them all right. Yeah.
Can we check Corey's answers?
See the directions, say round to the nearest 10?
Oh, I kind of.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the responders, if you don't follow the directions, I actually can set it up where it's plus or minus.
Oh, because that's awkward.
You know, 500s or something like that. But. Okay. Are we good?
Can we put these up?
All right, let's take a look at your homework. While you are checking your homework, I will check for completion. Please pull out your homework now.
Wait, did we have to write all of the chords? We didn't have to write all the chords, did we?
No, I just gave you all of them. It's on page 249.
I did not 100% understand it. Connor was nice enough to explain it to me, so I now understand it. It was it was these. I've always had trouble working from a component, but trying.
You just don't know that you have.
Okay, guys, let's check.
I know. I didn't say, like, wait, something's missing. I don't know my backpack.
I thought I had it though. I could have swore I had it. This one's right.
Oh, I have missing. I already got
Yeah, Drew, you probably hit it.
I did not. I did no such thing.
Oh, yeah.
You came here after I got here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I could have said it.
Yeah, now I better almost left.
You were the one that
No.
I thought I did because I thought I remember walking.
Yep. Why do we have to divide by, oh, half it? Half. Okay, 16. I'm sorry. She's so cute. I added yours last. Mine's right in between.
Because you know, every single number. Oh my God, I had that. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so disappointing.
Against the wall. In front of the
Yeah, yeah.
Ew, gross. Stared at you.
Okay. Any questions? No. You're able to figure them out? Excellent. That's what I love to hear.
Oh, we got it wrong. We got 16 somewhere.
Okay, let's talk about 16 real quick. On number 16, if we are given the surface area and we're going backwards to find the radius, the first thing we're going to do is divide both sides by the 4 pi. So the pi's are going to cancel, and 324 divided by 4 is 81. Then to undo a square, you take the square root, and the square root of 81 is 9. Any questions about number 16? Okay, now let's look at 26. Volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So if they give us the volume and we have to work backwards, we're going to solve for r. Well, the first thing I did was divide by pi, and it canceled on both sides. Then I multiplied by the reciprocal to move it to the other side. Then how do you undo a cube? You have to take the cubed root. Now, I've written on the board over there, to take a cubed root, since it's a cubed root, you would punch in the number 3 on our calculators that we're using here in class, hit the second button, and the X to the box button. That is cubed root.
Oh, I think I know what I did.
So if I put in like 81, then the answer's
Well, this one's a cubed root of 1,728.
Miss Willow?
Yes.
It's Caitlin's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kayla.
Happy birthday.
Oh, that's
We
pretty
sing?
good.
What?
Maybe in a little bit after I turn the recording off.
No, they want to hear it.
No.
They really
I
do.
know you want to hear it.
Phoebe, you hush, or I'll call your parents and ask them to listen to the video.
You want to hear it. No, not I.
All right. And the last few.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you missed number 30, you missed everything after it, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh.
Darn. It was real challenging. Every time I had to plug in all I do.
You don't have to get That's perfectly fine.
You did the exact?
Didn't exercise.
Good for you.
It took a while. And then I had to find
Because I know.
cubes of a square root. And that's
One, maybe 2 days. You're really
I
good.
didn't want to make it You don't even know. It's nothing to do.
did it right.
Did I already give y'all one?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Emily doesn't count. Doesn't have. I didn't know I was gonna get that.
Okay.
Well, those are very common.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yes. No.
Okay, now your question. I'll just do Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to look at surface area of solids. Specifically, surface area of spheres, cylinders, we did spheres yesterday, prisms, cones, and pyramids. Where'd my toys go? Here they are. All right, so when we talk about surface area, we're talking about the area around all the sides, the top and the bottom. Now, all the sides together is called the lateral area. So all the way around the sides is the lateral area. So if we look at the pyramid, this is a square pyramid. So the triangles, we add up all 4 triangles, that is our lateral area, lateral surface area. Now, on the pyramid, we have 2 heights. We have the height of the pyramid, and we have something that's called slant height. Okay, see, here's the height, here's the slant height. Do y'all see that? The height of the pyramid and the slant height. The height of the pyramid and the slant height. Do you see the difference? Yeah. Okay, on your homework, I gave you the slant height. Today in class, we're going to solve for the slant height. So what else would have a slant height other than a pyramid?
Right triangle.
A 3-dimensional figure.
A cone.
A cone. Okay, and we're going to need the slant height for the cone too. So here's the height of the cone. Here's the slant height. All right.
That's what those were built for.
I think so. Maybe it's nifty. All right. So let's take a look at these. Some of these are pretty simple, like the first one. Some of them we don't even need formulas for. Speaking of formulas, on your test, I am going to give you this little formula box. I am going to give you the surface area formula. I'm going to require you to know the volume formulas. We spent a few more days on volume than we are on surface area. We're kind of throwing it all together. So volume you must memorize, or you must know. Surface area I will give you, and you have to be able to use it. Okay, so number 1, if we look at this, area of a cube with a side of 8 centimeters. Well, if you think about a cube, how many faces are there on a cube? 6, and they're all squares, right? So the formula for surface area makes complete sense. 6 times the area of one of the squares. So, in our problem, it's 6 times 8 squared. 64 times 6, so we get the surface area is equal to 384 square centimeters. Does that one make sense? Okay, so we were just using this formula here. Now the lateral surface area is just the area around the sides, not the top and bottom, so it would be 4a squared. All right, number 2 is a review from yesterday, so you try to find the surface area of a sphere with a diameter of 5. Okay, DB, you weren't here yesterday, but here's the formula, so just plug it. Yeah.
When you say you want us to find the surface area of a hemisphere,
Okay.
does that
You can do
mean
this.
we find the surface area of a sphere, then we divide it by 2, then we find that missing piece on the inside?
What?
Okay, I should have talked about this when we went over the homework. Let everybody finish this one and then I will. That's a good question.
I got it.
I got it.
Oh wait, surface. Yeah. Okay.
This will be, well, everybody's kind of working on that one. For the, I'm going to read this one here, the cone, to the right side of the cone.
Yes.
1/2, and then it looks like it says,
It says C times pi times L. No, it's C times L. That's just a times. That's an X for times.
Plus.
and the L is,
Plus pi r squared.
and the L is, the
Slant height.
slant height.
I'm pretty sure I aced the JCT.
Dude, I'm happy.
Okay, so on this one, you tried. Did you get an exact answer of 25 pi square inches? An approximate answer of 78.54 square inches.
Ha.
Oh, it was diameter.
Yep, it was diameter.
Terrifying.
Okay, while you guys were working, Corey asked a really good question. He said, with a hemisphere, if I'm doing the surface area, is it just the surface area of the half, that, like the dome, the half of the sphere, or does it include the great circle on the bottom? Well, if it is just a math problem, and it has no real world application, then it's just that dome looking part. There's no bottom to it. But if it's a word problem, such as you take a foam ball and you cut it in half and you cover the whole thing with material, then the surface area would be the dome part plus the great circle on the. So if I ask you for the material needed, how much leather do we need to make? It's not made out of leather. What are basketballs made out of? Footballs are made out of leather, but what are basketballs? Rubber? We'll go with rubber. Let's say you needed to know how much rubber you would need to make a basketball. That would be the surface area of the basketball, wouldn't it? So if we only wanted half a basketball, would we need that great circle? No, because a basketball is filled with air. But if something has a core to it, if there's something in it, then we would include that great circle. So the only time that really comes into play is when you have word problems. Bye, ladies. Okay, now let's take a look at the rest of these, and we're going to work through the formulas. All right, we're going to do this one 2 ways. How much cardboard would you need to make a box that was 2.5 by 8 by 11? All right, so I'm going to sketch the way I want this box to be because I'm going to do it in 2 ways.
Wait, where's?
Okay, so here's my box. It's the 2.5 by the 8 by the 11. Everybody got it? So we're going to do this 2 ways. We're going to do it with a top on the box and with no top. Okay, so if I have a top on the box, then it's just a rectangular prism, isn't it? So I add up the areas of all the sides. Well, the top and bottom are exactly the same, aren't they?
And the side.
And the left and right side are exactly the same. And the front and the back are exactly the same. So the formula, they called it ABC instead of length, width, and height. It doesn't matter which you do it. But the formula for this is going to be 2 times all those areas. So if I used length and width and height instead of A, B, and C, it would look like this. 2 times length times width, plus 2 times width times height, plus 2 times length times height.
Oh, I remember this.
I don't.
Okay?
This was 5th grade. Yeah, it was.
It was a long time ago.
It was 5th grade.
It was
yeah.
5th grade.
I remember because I was like, oh my gosh, another one of these. Okay.
Really? Is that
All
what
right.
you said?
I was actually pretty good at math in 5th grade. That's how I got moved up to accelerated math.
Okay, so the length times the width, and it doesn't matter, like if we said 8 by 11 plus 11 times 2.5 plus 8 times 2.5. All right, punch that in, see what you get for the surface area of this box with the top,
So.
a rectangular prism.
Gosh, I don't even know how to. Oh, PEMDAS. That means parentheses first, right?
Your calculator understands order of operations, so if you just punch it in correctly with the correct parentheses, you're golden
I am golden, thank you.
with the calculator.
Is that 2.5?
Yes.
Okay. Just to double check.
Now, Miss Willoughby, you
Just a discount double
distribute 2 to every single number.
Should we just
In
plug it in the
that
calculator?
You could.
Calculator.
You could. And that's why they get this formula over here.
Wait a second.
You can write it 2 times A
But
times
you
B
said-
plus 2BC plus 2AC.
Because there's addition in there, so you can.
There's addition. You can distribute through a binomial or a trinomial or a polynomial,
So the 2,
just not a monomial.
the 2 would go to A and B. It would just go to both of them. So there wouldn't be a 2A and a 2B. There'd be a 2AB.
Okay, your problem is here. These are 2 completely different things, Michael. The one that is a sum, you would distribute through.
Yes.
The one that is a product, you don't.
But what we're doing right now, can I see the mark?
Is we're distributing through a sum.
But we have 2 times
A,
5, A.
B, B, C, plus
Yeah, you're
A,
multiplying.
C. You're multiplying 2 times this, so it's 2AB plus 2BC. I'm not doing the 2 times the A and the 2 times the B. I'm just doing 2 times AB.
Okay.
All right. Quick timeout to talk about properties of distribution. Now we're back.
Never taught it. I'm sorry. It's not your fault.
Thank you. Thank you.
You should have had me
Did
thicker.
you get 271 square inches? No? Did anyone get 271 square inches? Good. All right, we're good. All right, so now look at the drawing I made. This is your 2.5. This is your 8. This is your 11. Okay? So there is no top on top of the box now. No top. So one of the sides, one of the faces, instead of having 2 now, we only have 1. Which face do we only have 1 of? The 8 by 11, yeah. And then we still have 2 of the other 2. You only know because I drew the picture. If I didn't draw the picture, you don't know what the top is.
Okay, so are we gonna have like a word problem without a picture like that?
It'd be very clear in the words.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we get that the surface area is now 183 square inches.
Why is it 8 times 11 plus 2?
Because you're not doing the top.
Now we're doing it where there's no top. So instead of having 2 of these, We only have one of those, just the bottom, not the top.
Why are we doing it so?
I see.
Because you might have a word problem where you're creating a bin where there's no top that you put things in. How much would you need? A basket doesn't have a top. Okay. Number 4. How many square centimeters of aluminum is needed to make a can that is 6.5 centimeters high and has a diameter of 4 centimeters? So if it has a diameter of 4 centimeters, what's the radius, guys?
2.
Very good.
Haha.
All right, so we have a radius of 2. And so if we want to cover the whole can, we have to cover the top and the bottom.
Okay.
So the top and the bottom are circles, and there are 2 of them. So we get the 2 pi r squared. That's where that comes from in the formula.
But times, wait.
And then we have to add to that all the lateral area, all the way around the can. Now, if I unwrapped,
It'd be a rectangle.
it does look like a rectangle, doesn't it? And what is this dimension right here? This is the same as the height of the cylinder, isn't it?
God dang it, I'm stupid.
Now, what is this?
The circumference.
That is the circumference of the circle.
Wait,
So-
what circle?
Of this one.
Oh, the top?
Yes.
Plus circumference.
Oh my god.
Okay, so circumference times height, which is 2 pi r times h. Circumference times height.
Oh, that's difficult.
Okay, it's given to you. You just have to use it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're just plugging in what we figured out. We figured out the radius is 2, and we know the height is 6.5. Punch it in.
Okie dokie.
The circle is exactly
2.
8 plus 26 pi is 34 pi.
Oh, but there's 2. There's 2 of them. That's why it's 2 pi r.
2
Not
pi
2. That was pi.
2.
Right. This is because top and the bottom.
I got 106.81.
I did too. I got 106.81.
Wheeze is dumb.
Does that one make sense? Okay, number 5. How much paper is needed to wrap a waffle cone if the opening of the cone is 3 inches and the height, it should say is 5 inches. Now, if we're thinking about this, is this the surface area of the entire cone we're looking at?
No.
No, it's just the lateral area, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if we wrapped the top of the cone, how would they get the ice cream in?
They wouldn't.
It'd be really sad. So, when we look at this, we are just looking at this lateral area. Just the area around the side.
What?
We do know that opening of the cone is 3 inches, so what does that tell me about the radius?
1.5.
It is 1.5, and the height of the cone is 5 inches. Now, to find the lateral area of the cone, it's half the circumference times L, which is the slant height. L means slant, L for slant. They would use an S, and some books do use an S, but some books, but an S looks like a 5, so some books use L. So it's pi r times the slant height plus pi times r squared. But since we don't have the top, ours is just the lateral area, which is just pi times the radius times the slant height. Whoop, we're missing the slant height. What do we do? Oh, it is a right triangle.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what can I use?
Go.
Pythagorean. It equals the slant height squared. So find the slant height to the next 100. Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem. Kind of rhymes a little.
Alright, so 1 birthday where
Did you get 5.22? So it's going to be pi, the surface area is going to equal pi
I got 5.22.
times the radius, which is 1.5, times the slant height, which is 5.22. So the surface area for this wrapper,
24.6.
yes, 24.60
Yes.
square inches. Now, if we were actually making the wrapper, we would make it slightly larger so that it would overlap a little. We could glue it, and it would stick.
So we would put like 25.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like easy to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the exact amount of paper we would need to wrap the cone.
So on the test, I can just like guess a number, and then you'll be like, no, that's fine. I'll be like, no, you see, like I need extra. Yeah. That's what I mean.
All right, the last one. We're starting out with a square pyramid, and that was terrible. Let me try again.
Oh, this is frustrating. I feel lost without my bag. I live in that thing.
All right, so here we have the surface area of pyramid. If the perimeter of the base, oh, I didn't even say it was square. Oh, perimeter of the square base is 20. So if the perimeter of a square base is 20, what is the length of all the edges? 5. And the height is 10. So I'm going to draw this down in here. The height is 10. Well, I don't need the height. I need the slant height. So I know that this is 10. I don't know this. What is this, guys?
That's
The hypotenuse.
No, down here.
That's the
2.5. Very good, Connor.
what?
Okay, the way he got 2.5 because this is halfway of this side. Half of 5 is 2.5.
Yeah, I'm very confused with this.
So now we're going to find the slant height.
Yeah, it's
Well, we started out with the perimeter of the square base being 20.
Right.
And I'm looking here at the formula, and it is just.
I got 10.31.
Okay. L is approximately 10.31. Okay, so what is the formula for the surface area of a pyramid? Okay, it's 1/2
Just kidding, normal.
the slant height times the perimeter
Time
plus the area of the base. Big B, area of the base. So it's 1/2. The slant height is 10.31. We just found that. What's the perimeter of the base? What is the perimeter of the base?
20.
20.
But it's
And what is the area of the base?
25.
Okay, we solved for it while you were still mad about the formula.
Yeah, true.
The area of the base. Big B means area of the base. All right, so you get approximately 128.08 square centimeters. Okay. Once again, on your test, I will give you the surface area formulas. I will not give you the volume formulas, but I will give you surface area. So while you're working on your sheet, use formulas. Okay, I'm going to cut off the recording, and then I'm going to come help Drew because he got mad. As soon as I cut it off.